continue a very active agenda here in the administration. We're in the midst of the budget issues now, and some of our priorities are being debated right now. You know that we have continued to grow jobs here in the Commonwealth ahead of most other states. We had another good month of reporting this last month. The unemployment rate is now down to 6.4%. It has come down in every region of the Commonwealth and in most communities in the Commonwealth. We still have a lot more work to do, but we're making good progress. We continue to get results in the schools. We're #1 in the nation in student achievement. We have some very, I think, promising initiatives around closing the achievement gap, which is a phenomenon in our public schools that affects mainly poor children, children with special needs, children who speak English as a second language, and we want to particularly focus there in gateway cities, and there's an initiative around that is part of the budget proposal that we have made in the administration that's being debated now in the House. Also on the education side is our initiative around community colleges, which is to bring some more unity and coherence to the strategy of community colleges as a platform for workforce training. We have 240,000 people looking for work in the Commonwealth right now and 130,000 vacancies. Many of those are middle skills jobs, small businesses, and they are telling us that they cannot find the people with the skills they need to do those jobs. And we think that community colleges can help us meet those needs and help people get back into the workplace faster. We continue to work on reducing healthcare costs. We've made some good progress over the last couple of years through a number of different strategies. I hope we can talk about this in greater detail. Average premium increases were in the 16 or 17% range. 2 years ago, they're less than 2% on average. Today, 1.4. In the connector programs, some of the subsidized programs, we've seen the second year of reductions in premiums of 5% each, which is each year, which is also really good news. And then finally, the initiative around youth violence, the so-called Safe and Secure Communities initiative. We're proud to have had the legislature's support through a supplemental budget to help get that moving. We are in the midst of a robust debate about further funding for that initiative in the course of the budget movement in the House. There's a lot happening. I'm sure a lot on your minds. I can't predict the outcome of all of it, but I think we're continuing to move forward, and we continue to have a good working relationship with the legislature, and I hope with all of you. So let me ask the Lieutenant Governor to make a comment or two, and then we'll take your questions.
Well, I think as the Governor mentioned, much of the energy and focus of the administration is in and around the economy and trying to create jobs in every region of the state. Part of that regional focus of the administration manifests itself through the Gateway Cities agenda, and that is working with many of the 24 cities around the state that drive regional economies and trying to make sure that we're working with local officials, working with local regionals and chambers of commerce to try to pinpoint specific projects in those communities. They could be infrastructure projects, they could be economic development proposals or projects, it could be issues around education in those gateway cities. So we're working on that. Related to that, but also part of the Governor's aggressive agenda in and around education and closing the achievement gap. I'm also working on the STEM issue, getting more young people, particularly women and minorities, pursuing academic majors, interests, trying to ignite interest in and around science, technology, engineering, and math. Because no matter what region of the state you come from, the jobs that the Governor just talked about where there are vacancies, invariably a significant number of them require people with skills around science, technology, engineering, and math. And they are, yes, they're PhD levels, but there are entry-level positions in manufacturing. There are healthcare, many innovation sectors that we are pushing, clean and green energy, green collar jobs. So there's a whole piece there that we want to make sure we've got more people getting those skills, and that is related to the community college push that the governor is making and the administration is making, so that we're offering, along with our vocational technical schools, training opportunities to get industry-recognized credentials, training certificates, then eventually associate degrees and so on. So that's how we're trying to bring a very targeted approach. One of the things that I am most proud of in terms of our work over 6 years is that this administration, I think perhaps more than any other, has been very focused, at least in much of what I've observed, on the regional economies and understanding that, Boston is unique in the same way Pittsfield is unique, Springfield and Holyoke are unique, Fall River and New Bedford are unique, Lawrence and Lowell and Haverhill are unique. So we're trying to bring that targeted approach to the work that we do.
That's great. Josiane, would you like to say a word or two about
Sure.
the New Americans Agenda?
I would love
You all
to
know
say that.
Josiane.
Yes, well, I'm the Executive Director of the Office for Refugees and Immigrants, and as you know, the primary responsibility of our office is to resettle refugees in Massachusetts, and also on the policy side, we work to implement the New Americans Report. I have to say that we are working tirelessly to making sure refugees, that we provide services to support refugees and to help them achieve economic stability as quickly as possible. For refugees, we have services like from transitional, additional cash.
I'm not sure, I'm confident we don't have a policy, and I'm sure there's going to be one.
Yeah.
That is about moving people out of institutions and into particular homes, because someone has an extra bedroom or something like that. And there are a whole host of reasons for that. Not that the concept is wrong, but that the limits of government power may prevent something like that.
Okay.
But we are encouraging a community-first strategy, which is to say, most people who are disabled, and certainly most elders, would rather age in place or be in place. They'd rather be in a community than in an institution. And there's a lot of data that shows it's actually more cost-effective too.
Yeah.
For example, there's been a lot of controversy about our proposal to close the Taunton State Hospital.
Okay.
The reason we are able to make that case is both because we have a brand new state-of-the-art hospital in Worcester, but also we have been emphasizing community-first placement, so people can be in group homes or in other facilities in community.
Yeah.
Which, as I say, is both cost-effective and better care in many cases. Some people will need institutions. That's the first. On the second, on bullying, I'm very proud to have been able to sign an anti-bullying law a couple of years ago now. I'm also proud of how it came to me. You know, we have a youth council, which is composed of 2 representatives from every county in the state, and they change. They have a term, and they change over, and they raise issues of particular concern to young people. They build them from the grassroots, and this was an example. And it turned into legislation, and it got signed. So I also like the way the bill came forward. I will say that the Department of Education has done their regs now, so that there's more meat on those bones. But I have to acknowledge, I never believe we're going to be able to legislate our way to a solution here. I think legislation is important, but what we most need are adults acting like adults and taking responsibility for all those kids, and making a safe place for students who see bullying to say what they saw, and so that adults intervene.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, I'm Gladys Patel. I'm a senior at Lawrence High, and I'm also a the editor and founder of my own paper called What's Good in the Hood, which is highlighting the good things that are happening in Lawrence that's like run by youth. And this is my thing.
Fantastic.
And I just wanted to comment on the whole in-state tuition situation, education for undocumented students in Massachusetts. And I know you don't really have control over federal legislation that goes on and stuff like that. And I know you're supporting like in-state tuition. But what do you think is the practicality of having like trained guidance counselors and teachers within schools? Because you're saying that all